I've been in financial services, consulting, and telecom industry for 20 years. My focus has always been in customer experience, UX, financial products, developing common products together between telecoms and banks, innovation, digital innovation. Usually, my icebreaker when I go on stage is to say, in the last 15 years, because it's 15 now, I haven't stepped into a bank branch. And I'm very happy about it. I'm very proud about it. I do anything I can to avoid stepping into a bank branch because I believe that we should be able to transact fully digitally with the banks. Unfortunately, a month ago, I broke that rule. Okay? And I found the end scenario, the caveat, which was when my 14-year-old daughter had to open her first bank account, and unfortunately, it turned out that it's not legal for this to happen fully online, and I had to physically be present with her in the bank. So I broke my rule 15 years in a row. I'm from a company called Evrotrust. There are slides later, but I'll try to skip them, just to make this one short. Who are we? All of you are familiar with ADAS, Regulation 910 in Europe. The Fifth AML directive, they stipulate the so-called forming of national schemes for electronic identification. There is 22 such schemes in Europe. Evrotrust is one of them. We're actually a notified scheme for electronic identification, the only private one. We're the official national scheme for Bulgaria, accepted by all EU member states, unanimously accepted. And we're also the official scheme for electronic identification of North Macedonia as well. We're also a qualified trust service provider, which puts us in a very interesting situation that we could provide a bundle of services. So not identity verification, but actually identity attestation, meaning that whenever we attest to somebody's identity, we bear the legal risk. There's a notified scheme on that. Doesn't matter which nationality you're on. We currently are onboarding around 60 nationalities into our platform. But we also issue immediately qualified certificates for everybody that is onboarded. So they could be transacting any digital process. Now, interesting thing about this is that we have not taken this outside the existing journeys, but we've actually white labeled it. So our banking clients actually are embedding notified schemes. They're embedding identity attestation and qualified signing within their own UX, either in mobile or in web. Now, when I was asked to talk about the state of digital onboarding in banks in CEE, the first thing that came to mind was to turn to some of our partners. We're partners with Deloitte and with MasterCard, and to get some statistical information, right? What's happening. The information they shared with us was that about 70% of customers drop out their digital onboarding if it takes more than 20 minutes. Not only that, but in their estimations, the abandonment of onboarding processes is around 67 to 80%. Now, it's quite a bit of a figure, right? So we went in to understand why. These are some things that you've already seen. The main things that stood out was that we have, of course, the traditional onboarding of individuals, the traditional identification. The majority of the journeys today are digitalized journeys, so they are not fully digital, meaning that you could start the process or do part of the process remotely, but then you need to transition into some sort of more traditional intervention in order to be able to finalize. Here, important thing is that we're not only talking about getting a new-to-bank customer to become a customer of the bank. We're talking about getting this new-to-bank customer to actually use services of the bank. Maybe why not become a client, get a loan immediately online. So because of that, some of the statistics that came out was that from the business side, the biggest challenge was related to the process being too slow or burdensome. Security was a major issue. Actually, we're happy to say that in the region, we have the hacker view of the Balkans in Romania, right? We have quite a bit of fraud attempts when it comes to digital onboarding. So for business, for banks, this is very important. On the user side, it's usually how long it takes, how friendly it is. Now, the problem with this information here, with the statistics they provided, was that it does not corroborate to anybody I talk to. I mean, I meet bankers all the time. I ask them, do you have digital onboarding? Yes. Can the client become client anytime, day, night? Yes. Can they get a loan online? Yes. I mean, they can do anything, right? So it doesn't kind of corroborate with what statistics is showing. So coming from UX, user experience, what did we do? Well, I decided to actually do a mystery shopping of the banks in Central Eastern Europe. So we hired a bunch of people. We gave them money to pay for bank fees, and we asked them to go to a bank and to become a customer of the bank and get a loan from that bank, but to not set foot in the bank. Okay, so they were supposed to do that either using the web or the mobile. And we asked them to do that in 5 different markets, and we asked them to do it with the largest banks that are available there, right? So here is a bit of a summary. This is a very cramped slide, which I did on purpose so that you could actually take a picture if you want to. So this is Bank Yellow, okay? Bank Yellow, we did a survey with them, mystery shopping in Austria, Hungary, and Romania. Now, for all of the mystery shoppings, what we did is we asked the following things. We asked for the people to try to do an end-to-end digital process. They had to send information, video, screenshots of all of this, is there document scanning, how is this performed, is there biometric liveness checks, is there security in order to get to this, to get a customer? Are there any offline interactions? And of course, lack of such is positive. If there is, it's a problem. Is there a manual video interview? It's okay in some cases to have manual video interviews. The problem is you cannot do that on a Saturday, right? Or you cannot do that at 8 o'clock in the evening. So one of the things that, if possible, should be avoided. Are the credentials identified somehow, verified, telephone number, email? Can they do signing, qualified signing afterwards? And how? Is it via OTP? Is it some other way to sign? What was the total duration? Any errors and obstacles? And ultimately, were they able to complete the process, right? So it's one thing on the top to claim it's possible, the other thing if it's available. So as we can see, Bank Yellow struggled quite a bit when it comes to web. In Austria, completely unavailable for mobile.